Hello and welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for an opportunity to discover the genius insight. We're so glad that you're joining us here. Today, our focus is for people who have the quantum infinity, who are interested in possibly adding the genius insight to your collection of bioresonance tools that you have in your tool chest. And that's what we're really here to do. So I want to welcome everyone, and I want to welcome everyone who has joined me in the Infinity community. I really appreciate all of the work that I've been able to do with you. I appreciate the classes that you've come to. If you got your Infinity from me, I appreciate you buying your Infinity program through me. It's not that I personally think that the Infinity does not remain a good or viable biofeedback program. It is. The Genius offers different things, and it's another viable choice. For the next 2 weeks, so until the 28th of September, we will be offering the Genius through my website, through Suzanne Covington's website, for $99 for current Infinity users. That means people who bought the Infinity before the launch. So if you bought your Infinity before the 14th of August 2016, you qualify. You can get an $1,100 Genius program for $99, but then it's going to go up on the 28th of September to $149. Still a great deal. Basically, we want to say we know you've been part of our community, and we want to reach out to you. If you want to use this as an adjunct with your Infinity, you now have the opportunity to do that. Why would you choose to do that? Because there are things the Genius can really offer you for the purpose of doing biofeedback that currently the Infinity cannot. Will you still want to use your Infinity? You may absolutely still want to use the Infinity for certain things, and you may want to then expand your repertoire to the Genius. And we're going to talk about what some of those differences are in the program. I'm here to take your questions. You're welcome to ask any questions that you want through our chat function. And I'm going to go through a comparison that I did between the two programs, the Quantum Infinity and the Genius Insight. For those of you who may or may not realize that Ryan Williams is the developer of the program, he was the original developer of the Quantum Infinity, and he has gone on to his own company now to develop the Genius Insight. What I find thrilling about the Genius Insight is that Ryan is putting all of his creative ability and imagination and vision into this program, which, as those of you who have known Ryan for the past 2, 3, 4 years know, that that's always an exciting journey. There's going to be something that you never thought about. There's going to be something that is really going to help you in helping your clients or doing self-discovery, in your own journey to discovering what's going on with you emotionally, physically, spiritually, through the meridians. And Ryan just has this great ability to provide a vehicle to doing that. So again, I want to welcome everyone, people who may have come in a little bit past the hour. Again, Maribel, welcome. Really nice to have you. Joanne joining us from Trinidad and Tobago. Really, really nice to have you. Suzanne. Victoria, welcome. Vinayak, really good to have you along today. Barbara, very nice to have you. And of course, my dear Gertie from Texas, so good to have you here joining us. So again, this is Dr. Ariel Policano. This is your opportunity to find out, gosh, I've been sort of thinking about this Genius, but what does it do? What's the difference here? We're going to show you. Again, all good about the Infinity. We embrace the Infinity as a wonderful tool, but want to show you all of the fun stuff that the Genius can do. So to get started with that, of course, I have the Genius platform sort of shown here from my iPad, and I want to talk to you about this document. Gosh darn it, I've been trying to upload it, but I will send it to you after the webinar is over. And let's see what the best way is to do this. Maybe perhaps take this offline for a second here. And okay, good, that does that. Okay, so we can look at this comparison of the Genius Insight versus the Quantum Infinity. Let me go down the list here. Does the Quantum Infinity and the Genius, do they both scan individual items? Yes, they do. They do a great job of scanning individual items that you want to test. And we'll go over that and see that live up close and personal as we go into the Genius. But one thing that's really nice that Ryan has added in the Genius is the ability to scan the entire matrix at one time. Now, this is something that I know as a trainer that you all asked for over and over again. What if we could go into the program and look at everything so that we could really cut through all of the stuff and say, what here is the most important that I need to be looking at and considering today? And so that's where you get every item can be scanned at one time with the Genius. So a wonderful addition. And we also have added the switch function, so you can switch from everything that's very high, above 600, to everything that's very low, below 150. You know, you also asked for an easier way to balance. Like, I don't have time as a practitioner to sit around all day and spend hours and hours with my client. Like, we have a limited amount of time together. And so as you're going to see with the Genius, we've done a couple of different protocols for you, talked about them in the past, and I'll talk about them again, but it's going to allow you to do a session in 9 minutes, 12 minutes. That can be a complete session because of the drill down capabilities, because of the ability to really hone in again. What do we need to know? And in fact, then retest it again. Drill it down again, say, but of all of these things, is this the most important thing? So we're going to get there. I'm going to do some demonstrations for you. Please feel free to add your questions. Again, you have until the 28th of September to get your Genius if you haven't for just $99 if you are a current Infinity user. And that means you purchased your Infinity before August 14th of 2016. So please do take advantage of that. I'm going to give you my link. If you usually work with Suzanne Covington, then please go through her website for sure. Okay, create customized panels. Can you do that in the Infinity? Oh my gosh, it's one of the best things about the Infinity is that you can create these awesome customized panels and you can really shape the program to your own personality and philosophy. But you also can do that with the Genius. So we have a full ability to create customized panels. And in fact, Ryan has added this really cool feature where you can also take a picture of the remedy, because a picture has a lot of energetic information. So we're able to take a picture with the Genius, whereas we're not able to take that with the Infinity. I may have just said that wrong, but you get the idea. So I'll show you that as well. Ryan has added binaural beat technology so that every frequency that you're running is potentiated through the binaural beat overlay. So what bioresonance really is about entraining frequencies into your energy field. And with the binaural beat, you're engaging the brain in a new way. So you're experiencing the frequencies, but they're being processed in the brain at a much faster rate with the addition of the binaural beat overlay. So again, this is how Ryan is thinking about everything, sort of putting the pieces together. And again, I think it's thrilling. It's really exciting because what we're inventing here, what we're creating here is something totally new. This is something no one has. No one's even thought of it previously. And so you are on the cutting edge of technology, using it as, you know, it's being produced. So it's really, really exciting. Creating frequencies through a sound recording. This is called the Neuro Remedy. We are going to do an example of that together. This is where you can take a voice recording and turn it into a harmonizing frequency. This works a little bit like radionics in terms of if you have something to heal in your body, whether it be an autoimmune condition or fibromyalgia or chronic fatigue, you can now speak that affirmation. An example would be, you know, my body is healing on every level. All this chronic fatigue is now leaving me. My body is filled with infinite energy and light, and all that I need to heal myself is being drawn and magnetized to me. This recording is then converted into a harmonizing frequency, which contains some of the very special frequency generation we're going to talk about as well. So what effect does that have? You are now really commanding the thing and saying and speaking the thing you'd like to have happen, and then you're deeply entraining it into your energy field on many levels with the neuro remedy. It'll become more of a reality when we actually take a look at it. So I'm just going down the list here. So create a frequency using a sound recording, prioritize all frequencies into the hold tray. We're going to look at this again. We're going to go to that matrix scan, and we're going to scan everything in the matrix, everything that's possible to scan, and then we're going to put a lot of them down in our lower tray, which in the Infinity is called the multi-layer tray. Here it's called the main hold tray, and we're going to then take all of the items in that tray and bring it into something called Progressive Insights, where we retest all of the information. Super, really a wonderful thing to do, because it asks us to be more certain about the results that we're getting, and then balance at a much higher priority and with more emphasis on the things that are truly important. This means you have more effective sessions that take a shorter amount of time to complete. So more efficiency and more precision. Again, this is something Ryan sort of sat back and said, you know, what are the things that are missing? What were the things that were really missing from the Infinity that I could really improve on, that I could really make better in this new iteration and this new production? And he really has achieved it very, very well with the Genius. So going down to the last couple of items here, and then we're going to jump in and see this live, so it's really not that meaningful until you really see it live and in person. Using alternating energies for dynamic results. The alternating energies is where we can go through sine, square, and sawtooth generated frequencies, and we combine all of them to create a very dynamic experience for the person and increase their energetic adaptive capability. So it does not just run sine, although you could run just sine. It does not just run square waves, although you could run just square waves, and it does not just run sawtooth. You could run sawtooth waves alone, but when you combine all of them, it will cycle through sine, square, sawtooth. This again increases the energetic flexibility and adaptive capability of the energetic field that's being worked on. So we use alternating energies for dynamic results. I need to update this because something else we do is we use the energy encoded process, which I call the secret sauce of this program. An incredible advancement in bioresonance. These frequencies reach you on the deepest level of your being in a way similar to what we call the unstruck sound. These are deep ways of reaching the subconscious and really helping the person to transform on a deep level. So it's beyond the spoken word. These are really interesting frequencies that help you to change in a really dynamic way. And so if you want to really have great results, if you want to not keep repeating the same cycles, then you would want to turn on the energy encoded process, which we'll look at. Cross-analyze 2,000 items at one time, so that is what is in the matrix. So we're going to be able to take all the items that are in the matrix and look at them all together. Okay, so since we sort of talked about it, this is sort of like talking about a meal without being able to taste it. So let's get into what this actually looks like. I'm happy to take any of your questions, and remember that you have until 28th of September in order to get your Infinity at the special price of $99. If you're ready to do that, you can actually go to my website, awakentotalhealth.com, and you can just type in the word genius into the search bar. It's a hidden link, so make sure that you type in the word genius into my search bar. Unless you work with Suzanne Covington, then please go to her website and purchase through her. So you go to my website, type in genius, and this is the special deal only for Infinity users, and I'm going to also send you this link. I'll follow up with an email. If you have any friends in the community that currently have the program and have the Infinity, have not heard about the Genius, please let them know. Some people will only ever love the Infinity. That's totally fine. Some people will fall in love with the Genius. They may not ever want to use the Infinity again. It's equally fine. This is a big universe, and we're just expanding the universe with some more options. So if anybody would like to volunteer and have a personal scan done, let me know, and I'll be happy to work with you. Otherwise, I'm going to go through some of the features of the Genius, just using sort of a generic AAA client, sort of a fictitious client. All right, cool. So, all right, Barbara, so I'm going to need your date of birth. So if you can send that to me, and I can keep it private here, I can just sort of cover up the view. So, okay. And all right. So we're going to work with Barbara, and we're going to need her voice recording, so hopefully we can get her voice recording. Again, if you have any questions, I'm going to put this Genius link, let's put the comparison up here for you guys to look at. And then let me just take this offline for 1 second, and I'll talk in the meantime. So we've really been getting nice, and Barbara, if you want to email me a picture, you're welcome to do that. We will see the picture, so if you're okay with that, go ahead and do that if you want to do that. It'd be great to have the picture as well. And let me just tell you, we've been getting a lot of great feedback. We are taking testimonials. So actually, if you've joined us today and you already have the app, we sure would appreciate your posting a review. On my website, I have a review function, and we've really had some nice people post reviews on my website about the Genius. So if you can go to my website and post a review, or send me or Ryan a testimonial, that would be a nice way of thanking Ryan really for developing the program, because we really do need your personal experience with the program, and we certainly would love to get it. So you can just write a review on my website. A couple of people did that today, and I really do thank you for doing that. And or just send me an email with a few sentences about your experience. So I'm going to get the client details in here. That's a pretty easy thing to do if you've worked with the Quantum Infinity, and we can take it from there. I just want to read a testimonial I got. For those of you who were on the call yesterday, you heard this testimonial. For those of you who weren't, I'm reading it for your for your benefit, because it's an awesome testimonial. We've got Christian, who's using the Genius in Australia, and he's just been using it for a couple of weeks. Hi, Dr. Policano. This is my testimonial after using the Genius app for about 2 weeks. Being a homeopathic doctor and radionics practitioner here in Melbourne, Australia, I recently had a 54-year-old male patient with a urinary tract infection. Following your advice, I proceeded to do a complete scan of all systems. Then, little by little, I started to drill down deeper and deeper to the root cause with the progressive insights, which I will show you. Turned out to be that there was actually a food poisoning he was able to discover related to seafood. I then found out that also bladder, testes, and sacral chakra were related to the issue. I treated all of these with the harmonizing frequencies and drilled down again with progressive insights to continue to find what was the most important item. The patient was in real pain at the time of the analysis, which was yesterday. Today, the following day, the patient reported all the pain was gone, as if by magic. Incredible. All the symptoms disappeared too. No medicine or remedies of any kind were given to this person after the analysis with the Genius, just the harmonizing frequencies. So you get an idea of how powerful they really are. So thank you so much for that testimonial. We really appreciate it, and appreciate any other testimonials that we get from you. Okay. All right. I don't know if I'll be able to get these. So Barbara, I think we'll just skip the picture for now, but let's see if we can get your voice, because I'd have to have it emailed and that could take a while. So, all right. Barbara, are you there?
Yes.
All right. So let me bring the welcome and thank you for joining us today.
Hmm.
Have you gotten the Genius?
Yep, and I've used it just as on a trial for about a week and a half, I think.
Okay. Okay. And are you thinking about purchasing it on the special?
I purchased it and I've been testing it out.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. I gotcha. Thought you were on the trial. I got a little confused there.
Mhm.
Okay, so now, what kinds of things would you like to work on today?
Um, I'm showing neurotransmitter kind of off, low energy, sort of.
Sure,
Um, Wondering if the adrenals are doing okay.
sure. Okay, no problem. So we'll put that in there. And then any of these items on here that you want me to check off?
Um,
Allergies, anxiety, arthritis, asthma, circulation, digestive, headaches, high blood pressure, any of those?
I think allergies may be related.
Okay, so we'll just check those off. All right, so
Well,
just you
definitely bruise easy.
Bruise easy. Okay, so it's good to get sort of a connection to the person that you're working with, so we're able to get more of an energetic connection. You know, when you're doing bioresonance, you and the client are in the field together, and that is significant about what you're testing. It's significant to the results that come. You know, you're part of the equation too. So this is sort of engaging the person and enhancing that connection. Okay, fantastic. We then go to the bottom. We hit begin. And we successfully added Barbara in there. And now let's get your voice recording. So here you could start with your name, your full name. You could say something about your day, a gratitude, and then you could just keep repeating AEIOU. We do need a 15-second recording here, and that's significant because we're getting more information than we did with the 7 or 8-second clip. So Barbara, you feel ready to record your voice?
Name, gratitude, and because the application says AEIOU name and issue, but you want me to do gratitude?
I know, it's confusing, isn't it? So let me just state for the record here, you can say anything that you want. Anything. You could sing happy birthday to me. You could say I'm happy. You could say I'm sad. You can say any recording, even though the instructions give you the specific instruction, you really could just say anything. You could just record the person while they're doing their history, telling their story. So yes, if you want to say it as it says that above, you're absolutely welcome to do that. But I'm going to just go ahead and count you down, and I'll record your voice. So I'll start recording in 3, 2, 1. I'm recording.
AEIOU, Barbara Goff. Um, it's so wonderful to be on the Lake Michigan lakeshore to see those beautiful sunsets. And I'm blessed to have been home all summer long to enjoy it.
Okay, fabulous. Okay, did great. So then we don't need to do anything else here. We don't need to play it. We don't need to upload the voice. That's for a voice clip that can be sent to you by email. And we don't need to play the voice harmonics. We're just going to hit next here. So we're going to hit next. Here we have the ability to skip the picture. So I'm just going to do that for now because I wasn't very adept enough to pick up those files, but we'll do that some other time, Barbara. So let me just skip this here. But the voice is really the most significant. So having the voice is, a very big part of the algorithm, and we got a great capture of her voice. And when you see it's applying the, Fourier formats and all of that, it is re-listening to the voice several times and checking and checking and checking and saying, did we hear that correctly? Did we hear it correctly? So the recording of the voice, the assessment of the frequency becomes the main tool by which we are then comparing to other frequencies. So it's a very, very powerful way of assessing here, and we have much more accurate results. Although we never say everything is perfect all of the time, this is definitely getting there. So, Barbara, is there an affirmation or a word that you would like to focus on for this session?
Yes, I can think of something.
And what would you like to put there?
I'm full of energy and enthusiasm to greet each day.
So I'm just going to do I'm full of energy and enthusiasm just to save a little bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that will play in the background as we run the frequencies for you. So that's great. As you can see right here, we've got body, mind, and biofield, which is the energy field. And there are 3 categories here. We're going to begin the analysis to test which of these 3 has the most draw for us today. Where's the most energy located that would be good to balance? Body 226, biofield 600, mind 663. Our threshold here is 150 and below or 600 and above. So mind is probably the most beneficial place to look, which speaks right to what Barbara was saying, was that she wanted to look at the neurotransmitters. So we can go into the mind, and then we can begin the analysis here to also see what in this area calls to us. And so didn't mean to do that. So, and then the neurotransmitters are over 600, very interesting. So then we can test the neurotransmitters, very similar to the infinity, but even faster in its balancing. Lightning fast balancing happening. A very interesting, colorful interface that really engages people. And we have 2 sides of the coin to look at. Here we don't have anything too low. Anything below 150 we look at. Anything above 600 we look at. So oxytocin, GABA, norepinephrine, and histamine we would definitely balance. I'm not going to talk about all of the different meanings of these neurotransmitters right now, and that's what you should think about as a biofeedback practitioner. You certainly can research these and look them up. The way to balance them is as follows. We turn the timer to 1 minute. We then take the oxytocin, which is the top one that needs attention, needs balancing. We place it in the quick zap, which is the first stage of balancing. This is where we put the innate intelligence on alert, and we say, hey, we're going to do a deep dive with balancing oxytocin, but this first few minutes, and I'm just going to, bless you, I'm just going to mute you here, Barbara, and we'll come back to you, okay? And we're just going to do the first 1 minute to sort of wake you up, and then later on we're going to bring oxytocin down here in the main hold tray, and then we're going to do a deep dive a bit later. So we balance this then for 1 minute. Oops. Okay, let's get back in here. So we basically close the tray, hit the 1 minute, and we begin to play the frequencies. Okay, the frequencies are playing through the computer. Let me just get to that. Okay, so of course we're going to stop that. After we're done for a minute, what we do is we go back, we open the tray, we hit clear all. This is a lot easier to get things out of the tray than really were with the infinity. So we can hit clear all, and then we still have it down in the main hold tray. We now take the GABA, we balance it for a minute, and we make sure to put it down in the main hold tray. So we balance that for a minute. Okay, of course I'm not going to do this for the entire minute. We do the same with norepinephrine, and we do the same with histamine. If there was anything down in blue, we would do what is down in blue. And we make sure to put all of these items down into the hold tray. So that's one way that you could do a session very, very quickly. So you have 4 items, that's 4 minutes. Then you would go to Progressive Insights because you want to drill down the information again. We only really have 4 items here, so I probably would want to do some other testing, but just for this sake, what we want to do here is that was 4 minutes. Now we want to do 3 minutes in Progressive Insights, and that is actually pretty powerful even at the 3 minutes. So now I'm going to set the timer for 3 minutes here. I'm going to close the tray, and I'm going to hit the play button right here, and we're going to go to Progressive Insights. I hit Begin Analysis, and it's going to, as I said, drill down the information again, lightning speed. And so what it's really telling us is, even though we tested that these were out of balance, oxytocin, norepinephrine, and histamine, the one that's really important for Barbara is GABA. And just to say a little bit about GABA, it's an inhibitory neurotransmitter. So it really helps to slow the mind down. Glutamate is its polar opposite. And so people who have difficulty with focusing or really unwinding that mind, GABA is often what is deficient. You can get GABA through or increase the GABA in the brain through a supplement called L-theanine, but here it's saying this is something significant for Barbara. It's saying, oxytocin, norepinephrine, and histamine, we may want to balance them, but they're not as important. So when we hit the play button here, this is actually, let me just lower the sound so I can talk at the same time here. What it's doing is it's giving a weighted preference to the highest item. The GABA now is getting 3 times the amount of focus as it cycles through the frequencies. What the balancing does when you have all of these items in the tray is it's going GABA, oxytocin, norepinephrine, histamine, GABA, oxytocin, norepinephrine, histamine. Here it's going to spend 3 times as much time here on GABA, and it's going to spend twice the amount of time. Okay, so you sort of get like 3 seconds here, 2 seconds here, 1 second, 1 second, just as an example. So 3 times here, 2 times here, and then 1 time here. So the whole point is to give much more focus on what is needed and what is a priority. What does this mean? More effective balancing, less time. This entire session on neurotransmitters would take Barbara about 7 seconds to complete. Let's check in on Barbara for a second here. And Barbara, are there any issues with focus or attention for you?
Yes, and it looks like short-term memory. Like I'll leave the room to go get something, and then by the time I get to the other room, I can't remember what I was after.
Okay, yeah, that can be related to adrenals as well, but we can definitely see the focus piece. So this will be a good thing for you to check on the Genius yourself and let me know how you're doing if this keeps coming up for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to keep testing and we'll come back. You said energy, and you didn't say focus. You said energy, and what was the other thing you wanted to give some attention to?
Well, the neurotransmitters.
Right, we did that.
In particular, regarding focus and clear thinking.
Oh, there we go. Okay, well, the GABA is a pretty good one for helping with that. So let me mute you again. We're going to do some testing in some other areas, and we're going to check in with you as we go through that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's great. Thanks, Barbara, for volunteering. I really appreciate it. Hi, Ariel. How did you skip the picture? That's actually, you just hit skip at the photograph. Okay. So Zandra says, is there a difference between the headphone and the speaker? Yes, there is, Zandra. Because of the binaural beat technology, what I frequently recommend now, and what I even do for myself, is I want to show you now, I want to show you the full matrix testing, which we talked about, which is possible with the Genius, which is something we really don't find in the Infinity. We can actually tap on System Overview, and when we tap on that, we're getting taken to General Overview, which is our full matrix analysis. This happens in seconds. So I'm going to hit Begin Analysis, and now I'm able to test everything every frequency in the program, which is really one of my favorite features. Now we can sort of look at everything that's in red, and I like to review all of these things. I don't spend time on each one, but I'm sort of getting a flavor. What is the theme that's being expressed here? Then when I tap General Overview, once more, it'll toggle down to the bottom, which is also wonderful. So now I can look from lowest to highest. So I can see everything in blue. When I'm done with that, if I need to, I can switch back to the top. So this is a really cool, just so great that Ryan put this in here. So really much appreciated. So now back to that question. And is there any difference between using the headphones and the speaker? So what I typically do is I do the full matrix overview, and I will take all of the items at the top, or what I say is the top 10. So I'll take bladder, infections. So right away, bladder infections, there might be an infection in the bladder meridian. There might be a current infection that she's dealing with. This is sort of the main reason why a lot of people are having chronic fatigue. So this might be what's going on for her. Brow chakra, so the chakras are very, very powerful for balancing. Some solfeggio tones. Garlic is a food sensitivity, so she may be having a sensitivity to garlic. Some sacred geometry, triple heater issues with digestion, good essential oil here. Wanting to connect with the energy of love is what that's saying. Cat sensitivity to probably cat hair or cat dander. Pituitary gland imbalance, stomach. Okay, so you don't have to, do a huge analysis of all of these. You just want to get a flavor. You want to sort of connect yourself with what the story might be. And yes, it's possible to put all of these items in here. There's no limit really to putting items in the main hold tray. Obviously, you get to some point where you just say, okay, I think that's enough. So now I'm going to tap General Overview again. I'm going to go down to the bottom, and again, I'm going to put these food sensitivities in. You can reduce the effects of the food sensitivities through balancing. And also when you balance food sensitivities, you can actually eat the food occasionally because you're reducing your sort of traumatized relationship with that food. Okay, so tryptophan, that's interesting. That would lift mood. We've got the Nogier frequency, which is like sort of learning, dyslexia, left and right, brain imbalances, kind of interesting. We're considering that kidney meridian, stomach meridian. Again, the immune system. So we're seeing a common theme around the immune system, possible infection, so forth. That said, I'm still getting to the answer to the question about headphones versus the speaker. We're going to go into progressive insights for a second, but we need to take a moment and go to the navigation bar, which is located at the top right here. When we go into the navigation bar, we can have a look at the frequency, shape, and form, which basically tells you about the frequencies that you are running. This gives you the ability to choose what you would like to run, from no extra intensity to 10 times the intensity, 25 times the intensity, or 50. I'm just going to use the default for now. Soliton or stack wave versus harmonic. I always find harmonic to be richer and more effective in my balancing. I like to use the harmonic wave. Here's the sine, square, or sawtooth. There are different reasons, which I'll get into in future trainings. Really now we're just talking about the infinity versus the genius. So I could choose any of these, or I could choose the alternating, which will cycle through all three of these. So I'll choose alternating, stacked soliton versus the energy encoded process. I really like the energy encoded process because it touches you at a very deep level, things that are even difficult to express. They're not specific frequencies. They are energies that are drawn to you that act at the deep level of the subconscious and are quite transformational. So now, to go to this question that was asked, any difference between headphones and speakers, that came to us from Zandra. Thank you again, Zandra. What you need to know is if you're doing a long-distance session, then you can generate them through the speakers on your computer, or if you're doing Skype or whatever it is, it will be perfectly received in a long distance session, and it will be very effective. But if you have the person live, so what you want to do for that person is you want to actually turn down the enhanced layering technology, because this that's here is all binaural beats. So you really only want that if you can listen to it through stereo headphones, and you can have that person listen to it. So if you're having a client come to you personally, or you want to work on yourself, get the very best stereo headphones you can find. Get Bluetooth so you can move around a bit if you want to, or get wired headphones if you prefer those. You then can turn the entrainment volume all the way up, and the energy encoded process can stay at 100%. That's perfectly acceptable. So that, I hope, answers your question about between headphones or speaker, but I'm going to expand on that a little bit, Sandra, with the 3-minute continuous process, which I've talked about before. So it's the 3-minute continuous testing that is really great to do. So you could have a 3-minute session, a 6-minute session, a 9-minute session, a 12-minute session, or even a 36-minute session. Let me show that to you. Some of you have seen this before. What I did was I took the items that were very low or very high, those that are in blue or those that are in red, and I included them down in the main hold tray. But I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this for 3 minutes. It's already there. And then I'm going to, really say, but I really want to find out of these items what is the most important, as we did before. I'm going to hit that play button. I'm going to go to Progressive Insights. And I always find this completely fascinating, because as we begin the analysis in the Progressive Insights, what is the energy field picking up on that really is the most important? And so this is telling us some sacred geometry, really about coherence. Helichrysum is a very important essential oil. High gamma activity, the pituitary gland. That's what it's telling us, that avoiding fish or resolving the sensitivity to fish is important. So you could conclude that leaving fish out of the diet might be really beneficial. Stomach 42, crabapple as a flower essence, and then look at that urinary bladder, how many times that comes up. I wouldn't be surprised to see it again. Yep, there it is. So then what we do is we play this for 3 minutes. Through the headphones, listening to it through the headphones. And then you basically test it again. So you'll come back in and go back and then drill it down again. And so you do this after the 3-minute interval. So then you've tested, then you've got 6 minutes, then you've got 9 minutes, then you've got 12 minutes. You could do it all the way up to 36 or more if you want to. And each time it's now going to selectively focus and cycle through the items that are most important. So this is what I'm talking about, where Ryan is thinking really on the leading edge. He's thinking, way beyond, let's take this really great thing, this portable biofeedback app, and let's really turn up the volume and create some really, really fun enhancements and things that will make what you guys do so much more effective, so much more efficient. So really, if you have not gotten your program yet, or you know somebody in the community has not picked up the Genius, please tell them to do this now, because in 2 weeks it goes up to $149, and then I'm not sure how long that is going to last for. So this is the full license with all of the updates. All we want to do is, reach a hand out and say, look, we know you've been in the community, you're interested in bioresonance apps, we want to give you another opportunity to look at a different app that you may want to add to your toolbox, to your repertoire. Okay, so hopefully Barbara is receiving some of that through the energy encoded process. Sandra says, the system scan is a phenomenal feature. It captures the client's most accurate snapshot of their issues in the quantum field before things change again. Thank you, Sandra, for this. It's perfect for addressing the whole body as linked together in these issues. I'm having amazing results much more quickly. Thanks, Ryan and Ariel. Thank you so much, Sandra, for that. Can I use that as a testimonial? If so, that would be super appreciated. When or which you would use the plus 58 intensity. And I do use the plus 50 intensity even for in-person sessions. And Barbara, there's no worry in using that. It's not going to hurt anybody. If somebody is very energetically sensitive, use caution, but I use it, let's say that I'm dealing with really intense pain or an acute issue or somebody gets injured. Those are good opportunities to use the X50. And let's go back to now let's drill it down again because it's fun to do that. And then listening through stereo headphones is super fun. So we still see that urinary bladder. So you also see the things that, the common themes of things that keep coming up as important. I mean, that's something you want to pay attention to. Whereas other things will just trickle down to the bottom, fairly quickly. Okay, awesome. Okay, great questions, you guys. And Maribel says, did you put that item in the bottom tray? Yes, I did. I put it down in the bottom. I dragged everything down to the bottom. Curious what the 0 to 360 in the voice record feature relates to. I have to go back and look at that. I think that's just the different frequency markings of the different hertz frequencies that are being heard or assessed. And then when recording it, it changes the numbers based by the voice. I seem to get a similar picture with every recording. My guess is it's like a fingerprint and it is unique, so I'm wondering if my energy changes in balance, will my voice picture change? I wouldn't worry too much about those numbers, Elise, and whether they keep coming up the same or different. I will definitely check with Ryan, but I don't really think that it's very likely that it's just sort of repeating it, and I would look at it for other people, see if it changes. I'm not sure if that is the piece that changes, the one in the middle that you're looking at. I think it's the one to the left where it assesses the hertz frequencies, and I'd be really surprised if that number listed at the bottom left was the same over and over again. If it is, certainly let me know. Let's just go look at that really briefly because we did have that question about skipping the picture. So if we go back all the way to the beginning here, what we would do is, let's just bring up the AAA client for now, and then we can go back and finish with Barbara. But we did a lot. I think, Barbara, thank you. We're almost at the end of the hour. But Barbara, thank you for volunteering. You could see a lot of the different things that came up during the session. So keep balancing, and I would look at the immune system and underlying infections. I would specifically check like cytomegalovirus or Epstein-Barr virus and see how those relate. Those are probably things that you're very smart and clever. You've probably looked at, but I would go ahead and look at them again. So the 0 to 360, so this thing may not change, but you're going to see those different. Let's just record my voice. So this is Dr. Ariel Policano. I'm extremely grateful. I had a wonderful day today, and my intention is to heal my body on every level possible and be filled with full vitality. Okay, so these are pretty much always going to come up different every time. So this is, I believe, what you really want to look at in terms of that voice assessment. I wouldn't really worry too much about there's really no interpretive meaning here. So I would just sort of take it as it is. There's nothing really to interpret about this, and just let it be what it is and do all of your interpretation after that. So going back to the question that Shireen had, she asked the question about how do I then skip the picture. It's really important that everybody check for their updates and update to the latest version. The latest version is 1.9.8, I think. Yeah, I think that's right. Down here, Shireen, look where it says skip right here. You probably did not see it. It actually could be a better color. And then we go to our testing. So now we can look at the neuro remedy, and then we can sort of finish up. So if there are any burning questions, again, if anybody has any hesitation, let me know. Maribel says, did you put them in the upper tray or just the lower tray? So we put our quick zap items that we wanted to balance for 1 minute into the upper tray. So let's look at that again. We can do a full matrix. You can see how fast this goes. And so sulfate, I take that as being sort of like sulfur, a very commonly deficient mineral. We're just doing a fictitious client at this point. We set this for 1 minute, Maribel, and what we do is we do 1 minute up here, then we pull the same frequency down into the main hold tray, and we balance that for 1 minute. So I'm going to close the tray and now balance it here for 1 minute. Then when I'm done, I'll hit the top right, clear all. I'll then go to the next frequency, and I do this for 3 at the top and 3 at the bottom. Here's the second one. I then also do add it to the main hold tray below. Now I balance that for 1 minute. I hit clear all, and then I will put, and I didn't wait a minute because I don't think it's worth making you guys wait for the minute, right? So then balance that for a minute, and then we're done with everything up here, but we want to make sure we bring it down here. Then we also, for this matrix analysis, we want to add, say, 7 other items. So we said 10 on the top and 10 on the bottom. Do you want to add more? Add more. Do you want to go through everything in red and say some things, you know, I don't want to add the sacred geometry, so I'm not going to add the sacred geometry. Or I don't really like the spiritual protection. Don't add it then. Add the 10 on the top that you want, or add 20. It's totally fine. I like to add a lot of items into the main hold tray, so I'll do between 10 and 20. Because I want to sort of drill it down again and see what comes up. And then I want to balance it a little bit, and I want to shake off the superficial, get to the deep stuff by doing several of those 3-minute continuing balances to really get to the good stuff and focus on the good stuff. So then I would do, for you, Maribel, I would do 1 up here, right, because that's the lowest of the low. I'd clear it, but I'd also bring that cobalt, that might be like cyanocobalamin, down into the lower tray. Bilberry, also known as blueberry, good for the eyes, good antioxidant and a flavonoid, right? Really different tone there, kind of interesting. And then I would remove that as well and use the clear all. But I'd also, if I didn't, I might have done it already, I'll do the clear all. I bring that down into the lower tray. Oh, now I'm getting goofy. So we want to bring this down into the lower tray. Got like 3 minutes left, so any final questions, but I do want to show you, I was going to show you Neuroremedy, might not get to it. We didn't get to talk about this for Barbara, which again, thank you, Barbara, for volunteering, but something interesting is you can also test the full matrix of the what used to be called the cross analysis in the infinity. And I'm trying to find something that might be interesting. Okay, adrenal could be interesting. Current infections is probably the best one. So this is like the cross analysis. It's called entangled insights. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tap on body right here, and it's going to take me into, sure it does it every time you don't want it to do it. There we go. So swipe from left to right and that does it. What is connected to the infections? So there we go. I'm going to do show all, and it's going to be able to scan everything that now is in that what used to be called the cross analysis, which is the entangled insights. This is really cool, and you may not just want to look at the top 1 or the top 2, but you may want to look at like the top 20 and sort of just survey and see what is interesting that may be in fact connected here. So what I'm going to do is foot and mouth, refractory, bacteria, Clostridium, that might be interesting. There's definitely some type of infection trying to come through here. So you see all these bacteria. So now I'm sort of getting an idea of what's going on here. And there's a 62% likelihood that those are connected. Then I'm just trying to get my feet wet. What might be interesting here? Got some other things. A lot of it still looks either bacterial or viral. So that gave me an overview, which is also really important and really helpful. Now I'm going to go back into my entangled insights again. This time I'm going to now laser focus it on all the bacteria. and let's see what happens, because I really was able to see by looking over the whole panoply of everything. Oh, that's interesting. A whole bunch of bacterial resonances that came up. I would also want to look at the viruses, because a lot of viral resonances came up. Now, there is only a 46% connection, but I'd want to see if there are some similar bacteria going on over here, or any interesting bacteria at the bottom. And also, I might just say, well, geez, maybe it's not a bacteria, maybe it's an infection. So then, I mean a viral infection, so then maybe virus gets a higher percentage. So anyway, these are ways that you can increase your efficiency, and really a lot of biofeedback is sort of this sleuthdom, where you're sort of searching through the information for what is relevant. All right, so okay, so in order to get the genius, so we're going to talk about that. So let's see, there was only a 24%. You know, it might be parasites. So if I got the 24% and then the 48%, I might go just back to the drawing board and just try parasites as well. I'm not going to do that right now. I didn't get a chance to do the neuro remedy, but I do have, if you go to my YouTube channel, so type in Ariel Policano on YouTube. Let me just put my name here in the chat box, and just go to my YouTube channel. You can see the video I did on the neuro remedy on the YouTube channel for free. Quick question here was, can we see that link again? Go to my website, awakentotalhealth.com, and just type genius into the search bar. So let's just wrap up here. And again, if you work with Suzanne Covington as your distributor, please get in touch with Suzanne and she can get you a link. So Genius, and it's really nice because somebody put 5-star reviews for all of the Genius products. That was extremely nice. We'd love to get more reviews. So I can go in here, and this will be the $99 is listed right here. So go to my website, awakentotalhealth.com, put Genius into the search box, and you'll see, because it's hidden. I don't have it displayed because it's a secret link. And what I want you to know about this is, if you go to reviews, I would love it and really, really appreciate it if everybody on here who already has the Genius would select write a review. I would really, if you like these trainings and you like me as a trainer and you enjoy the free trainings, please be kind and just take a few minutes and go in here to review. It really does make a difference for other people who are considering getting the program. It makes a huge impact for them if they come on here and they see all of these 5-star reviews. So thank you so much in advance for taking the time today to do it. Go to awakentotalhealth.com, put Genius into the search box, pull this up, or even better, do your review actually on the main Genius page. So that's on this one. So if you go here to the main Genius page, right, where it says $10.97, that's the full price that people are actually paying for the program today. And then go to reviews, and again, we got a really nice review today, best biofeedback ever, really nice, and then hit write a review. Okay. If you have any questions, then you know, everybody here knows that I'm always available at ariel@awakentotalhealth.com, or you can even just hit contact us on the Awaken Total Health website. Okay. Contact info for the Genius, we did that one. Maribel, please, you had a question. Please be in touch with me personally for an answer to that question. And okay, and Shireen says, thank you so much for tonight. We're staying up to the wee hours of the morning. I'll send you a review soon. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, everyone, I want to wish you a great evening. Thanks again for spending time with us, and join me on Monday nights Monday night at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. We have a free training. If you don't have that link, shoot me a message and I will definitely get you the link. It's free Monday, 4 o'clock Pacific for that training. Okay, everyone, take care now. Have a great evening. I'll see you again soon. Take care and be well. Bye-bye for now.